Early February 2022, the 11th Parliament passed the amendments to the Succession Act, bringing in new provisions and aligning the law with recent court judgments that challenged the constitutionality of some sections. In 2007, the Constitutional Court in Law Advocacy for Women in Uganda ruled and declared that Section 2, 14, 15, 26, 27, 29, 43 and 44 of the Succession Act, Cap 162, and Rules 1, 7, 8 and 9 of the second schedule of the same Act were inconsistent and contravenes Section 21 and 33 of the Constitution. The provisions of the Act were discriminatory on basis of sex and the Act defining legal heir as only male. According to civil society, the law has language which was not fitting the current situation.
It is addressing, first of all, the discriminatory issues in succession and providing for equality as provided for under Article 21 of the Constitution. That everyone is equal and before the law and should be free from discrimination, irrespective of your sex, background, culture and all that.
The founder Men's Forum Uganda, Lauben Mohabuzi, appreciates the provision of the law on inheriting their wife's property.
My wife has died to share 50%. It is good because we left men long ago. That's now we want somebody to bring the men to share their cost over their properties of their wives. That's good.
Section 27 of the succession law was amended to provide for fairness of distribution of property, providing 20% of a person's property who has died without making a will to other unofficial children in his care below 25 years.
To provide for fairness in distribution of property, and it has created the 20% for the spouse, 75% for the lineal or the children, and then 4% for the dependents and 1% for the heir. It has created a penalty if there is an intestate person and there is intermeddling into the estate and say tampering with the residential holding, it is an offence.
The amended law states that a spouse that has separated 6 months to the passing of the instate person will not be eligible to receive property. However, to civil society, this provision of the Act is not fair since it will force people to stay in abusive relationships.
Fair in a way that currently we are faced with domestic violence, yeah, and many spouses are at risk. So if they insist on having that provision, it means many people are going to stay in relationships that are abusive and risk their lives because they are more looking at this provision that kind of leaves them out should they exit the residential holdings.
Has died. So when you want another man, share that where you go. Why you share this? Why you share here? Because the man is died. When the man died, when you want to go another marriage, share that side, not this side.
Another gap in the Succession Act is the unrecognized relationships which are not catered for, which civil society say needs to be looked through because it is the society behavior.
And then they say, okay, now let's also cater for those in cohabitation, means that the legislators are in one way normalizing what they think is not yet normalized. So there are two components to either come up with a law to address this kind of relationships, but still which may not also pass. Like reminding all of us to say, please formalize, which may not be very possible. Because under circumstances, not everyone can formalize a relationship. So within that angle, you find that there is need again to look into that and ensure that people who are in such intestate relationships but have contributed have a benefit.
In case the bill is assented to by the President without catering for people cohabiting, Sylvia Namubiru, a legal expert, advises couples to formalize.
Write the will yourself, if you can, if you are in this nature of relationship, because no one is going to go against what you have given, as long as everyone has been provided for within the meaning of the expectation of the law. Write that will, give when you are still alive, you know, and also the other one, normalize, because we have many areas of normalization. You can normalize through customary marriages.
The Succession Act caters for persons in formalized marriages, whether Hindu, church, customary and civil, and people are advised to register their marriages with government. I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.